In this video, I'll be painting on location in the Flinders Ranges. I'll be camping under the stars, bush cooking, and taking a massive canvas to the top of one of the tallest hills. The fun of creating up on top of the hill is exhilarating, and then it's even more exciting trying to get the wet painting back down without damage. You'll get to see how I store my paintings in the Plein trailer, how they all slide into the boxes. Beautiful cold atmospheric effects, light and shadow. Stay tuned, this one's definitely worth watching. Alright, this looks like a pretty good spot. Nice spot to set up camp. Beautiful hill behind us, that's what I'll be climbing to do all the painting. Beautiful views out that way, I think we've got a good spot. Alright, let's get this fire going. It's been a long trip getting here, quite a drive. So now we'll just set up a few basic things. I've got a nice flat area just here. Nice flat area for the camp setup, for the sleeping arrangement, but we'll get this fire going, eh? Milk out. Okay. Just come through, back to camp. Alright, well there you go, quick impression. Beautiful evening light, lovely colours, warm and cool, complementary in the Flinders Ranges, lovely stuff, light and shadow, the whole works and jerks, beautiful composition as it flows through, nice foreground shadow, receding off into the distance. Alright, let's pack up and get back down before the light goes. These fleeting moments really do fleet. There, 1 minute gone the next. Beautiful clean light though. I'll just get everything packed up. I've got all the paints, throw them all in their correct order. That way I definitely know that I'm not missing any as I walk off. If it's not in its spot, it's brown, yep. If it's not in its spot, then I know it's not there. You don't want to walk all the way back down to camp and then realise that you've left half your kit behind. So always the same order. And I put it in the same order that I work on the palette. Warm to cool colours and light to dark kind of thing. Alright. 100% palette knife is always a bonus. This big one here, as you saw, I just did a few marks with that one, just to give some nice technique. And this smaller one did most of the work. Nice little square end on it. Wow. I think that cloud actually helps the composition. Just that little bit of cloud gives you those beautiful patterns in the sky, so all good. Tomorrow I'm planning on painting a really big painting from up here, looking out into the Never Never, and the cloud will definitely help. Whoa, here we go, the wind's blowing, I thought she was going over. The cloud will definitely help that, help the composition, because there's going to be a lot of sky as well as distance. Gust of wind coming through. Alright. Alright, well there we go, let's head back to camp. Alright, so the painting's got these little slats on the back. And the whole reason they're there is now I can slide this wet oil painting into this box. She goes in. Let's see if we can get it without smudging anything. We'll slide her in. Shut the lid. There you go, that's it. Let's just have a quick look, I'll get the camera off. We'll just come in. You can see the paintings in there, and there's some other paintings, other stretch canvases in there ready to go. So she's all good. The perfect setup for oil painting on location. Alright, now it's a very rocky sort of ground landscape we've got here, but right in front of us, perfectly flat. A flat section with no rocks, so this will be where I set the swag up. Right next to the car. Perfection. Alright, we'll let that one cook for about an hour, slow cook. So that's brown rice, takes a lot longer to cook. Bring it to the boil and just let it simmer. Then I'll throw all sorts of goodies in when she's done. For what I got planned today, climbing up that hill with all the gear, big painting on location, I'm going to need tons of energy. So I'm going to have a strong, heavy breakfast. I'm also going to have a good carbohydrate lunch. And then that'll give me enough energy to go up there when I'm fresh. Lug all the gear up there, paint the picture, lug it all down again without the painting getting damaged. Take all the filming gear, take everything all in one go. It's going to be a good workout. Hence all the fuel. Delicious. Oh well, wish me luck. Here we go, up the hill. It's a real mission to get up there for one, with all this gear. But it's going to be fun, can't wait. Let's get into it. Wow, she's a steep hill, as you can see. Just keep on grinding that. Yep, up we go. A lot of the effort is getting to the top of this hill, but it's such a fantastic view, it's so worth doing. So I'm going to persevere and get up there with this massive canvas, or it's actually a Belgian linen. Whew. Whew. Tell you what, we're getting high. Look at that, what a view. You can see for miles all around. Just got to get over this hill here. I'm in lee of the wind at the moment as I'm climbing, but as soon as I go over that ridge I think it's going to be blowing a gale. That won't matter. I'll try and find somewhere, I'll try and find somewhere sheltered to paint, to set up. Alright, I reckon I found a spot. Whew. That is a heavy piece of work, that thing. Oh, dearie me. Well, that took me ages to get here. I'm way back over there. It's blowing a gale. I had to just keep walking until I got to a ridge. And this ridge is blocking the wind, so the wind's going up and over. So now I've got a great view. And also seem to be out of the wind, and it's fairly flat here. Everywhere else has got a big angle and rocks everywhere. Got another little rock platform here, just put my stuff on. Perfect location. Start setting up. Alright, let's get this thing going. There's so much involved with painting, a big painting, so far up the hill. Obviously I couldn't bring my plein air trailer here. I had to do it the old fashioned way. That's alright, a bit of fun in all that, isn't it? Okay, get this one done up. that. There we go, let's see what we've got here. Here. Because there's so much wind, we're up on the ridge here. I've brought some gear, some rope to tie us down because it's going to be way, way, way too wild here. And this will act like a massive parachute, I'm sure. And just blow over in the wind. Got one on there. A big rock here. So that's one. It's all in the preparation here. Wind and wild weather and who knows what. Fun. Back before I had the Plein air trailer, I used to do a lot of this stuff back before YouTube. A lot of this tying big paintings and whatever else. Through. Oopsie. Plenty of paint already, ready to go. Alright, well you can see the view, it's going to be great. Boom, out to there, look at that. You little ripper. I'll just clamp that pellet down because no doubt a gust of wind will take it. Big clamp. Alright, now I've got them. For such a big painting, I've got an absolutely tiny palette, which I'm not really used to. As you've seen me paint, I love to have a big palette and plenty of paint and palette knives. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but that should be alright. Let's give it a go. Got a bit of tape here, as you can see, and the reason for that, to get a horizon line established. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to quickly get a little bit of blue. What I want to do is get rid of that tape, so I'm just going to make a bit of a horizon line. Just mix up a few colours here. Tape's there. Okay. Won't take much, just put it in like so. Now the horizon line's also not going to be perfectly straight, it's going to have a few mountains and whatever. But this just gives me the idea, so I've got the straight line to work with. So later on, when I get the painting home, I don't look at it and think, well, it's a great painting, but it's kind of crooked. I don't want that. So I like to just establish it now, and then I know if I build the composition, it should work. Right, that's it, done. Let's take that one off. We'll start over here. Alright, I'll get some darkest darks. I go for some reds, greens, mix them together, maybe a bit of that blue, something to make it dark. Just want to establish a few darks in here. Do a bit of a linear drawing. Now we'll go a bit more dark again. Use a bit of red. It's always nice with the dark. A bit of warmth in that. Feel that. Alright, go for a bit of ultramarine blue to lighten that value a little, bit of magenta maybe. Just want to feel what I'm doing here. Just getting a bit of a feeling of what I'm doing with the composition. That's going to be the creek line that flows out to the Never Never. Just out here. A bit more white, lighten the value, a little bit more blue. got to work out where I want this hill to be, about there maybe. Up there, few bits here and there, shadow value out here somewhere. Oops. I'll just put my darks in and then I can put the lights on top. I just want to establish the feeling of the shadows. Bit of burnt sienna, green. Green and burnt sienna, bit of yellow. Yellow ochre. Burnt sienna and yellow ochre. Right there. On my way, putting the foreground trees in. Let's go for a bit of white, a bit of brown, oops, a bit of red. Trying to knock up a bit of a neutral earth colour. Whoa, hang, here we go. Action packed. I'm falling over, going in. Little palette knife down. Let's just tighten that and see if we're level still. Level enough, a little bit of fun. A bit more red with that. Like I said, I'm painting a keyed down version of the earthy, the red earth, the outback of Australia, but it's in shadow. Keep it low key in shadow by using burnt siennas, alizarin crimsons and yellow ochres. Lovely stuff. Like so, good. What am I going to do in the foreground? I'm going to put a bit more blue with that, a bit of white. It's kind of a bit greyer through here. So I'm using the sky, well, not the sky blues, the blues I got down here when I was blocking in earlier. All this foreground I want to keep keyed down, so I'm going to light up the distance. White, burnt sienna, blue. Just get it good coverage. Knock in most of that white so I can judge everything relative. When there's too much of the white, it's hard to judge what value is what. White, burnt sienna, ultramarine, making a fairly good neutral sort of thing. It's all good fun. Where are we going here? Let's just go up that way. Just trying to get it right down to the edge without putting too much paint on the easel itself. Breeze blowing again. Get those edges nice and neat, so at the end, when you hang it on the wall, you can have it unframed if you like, and it's still nice and neat. There we go. Lock it in. Okay, go for a little bit more blue, yellow ochre. I want to paint some of that saltbush, that lovely distant saltbush colour. Let's try some yellow ochre and ultramarine blue maybe? Let's just have a look what we've got here. That's a bit too high key I think, that's more like when it's lit up. Yeah, so burnt sienna, an ultramarine. We'll make it a lower key version. I want to keep it dark and then I can work light onto it for the accents. Get it dark for now. If you go dark, it gives you a lot more room and a lot more impact when you do your accents. She's all keyed down nicely at the moment. Slide it through, it's just lovely stuff. Going on like butter. Fantastic. Keep on going. Ultramarine. There's a road down there. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Trucks and all sorts of things going past. Bit of magenta with that. Ultramarine. Trying to get some of those nice. Whoop. A little bit dark in value there. But I'm trying to get some of those lovely shadows in. Pull it through. Okay. Yellow ochre, magenta maybe. Just got to make that saltbush colour in the sunlight, but the distance. Let's have a look. Lighter in value. I want that to be lit up, so I'll put a little lighter. White, ultramarine blue again. More ultramarine, darken the value. Magenta. Thoroughly. It drops away like so. Nice. Before I go any further, I want to establish some darks right here, yellow, red. Anything to get some dark values in here with the creek. It's way down here. Pretty in green, burnt sienna. Just getting a basic block in and then going to start refining, obviously. Okay, white. Get a bit of sky going. We've got plenty of that foreground all done, or middle ground or distance or whatever it is. Ultramarine blue. The sun's coming through that. That's another reason why you want to get this all blocked in, because the sun is currently better. The sun is currently shining through the board, as you can see, and that really disturbs all the values, makes it hard to judge what you're doing. Put that on. Put the mountain range just in there. Bring it down, get rid of the whites. Getting there. Get this horizon line established. There we go. Okay. Wow, beautiful distance. I love painting distance, near to far. It's exciting stuff. Go a bit more magenta with that. Ultramarine and magenta. There's a few purples kicking around in here, I see. Lovely stuff. Bring out all the subtle colours that you can see in nature. Ultramarine, white. What do we got here? Some green. Got to get rid of that. I've got a dark value on the knife that keeps messing with me. Get rid of that. That's it. Some slightly darker shadows in. More brown now, change tack, magenta and brown for the clouds as they're a bit higher up. Magenta, magenta, white to lighten the value. A little bit of blue to go with it. The clouds go up, they go slightly darker, they go more brown. Brown, a bit more magenta. Chuffy clouds. Okay, I'll get some white. Use a bit of phthalo blue and yellow ochre. I want to make more of a green in the sky down low. There's a bright colour going on there, clean white. Let me see what value I've got here. Not too bad. Throw a bit of that in here and there. Now. Okay, now a little bit more blue, slightly less yellow ochre, slightly less white as I go up, so a bit more white than that though, and a bit more blue, a bit more white, just getting all the subtle variances in the sky as it gradiates up. Going on nicely. In there. They're chuffing around. Right, go up another layer. Blue, white, more blue, less yellow ochre. Up a bit more of a layer, a bit more blue, less white and less yellow ochre. That's becoming a darker value as I go. There's a stick or something in the works, I can feel it under the knife. Doing that beautifully. Alright, keep going up. I'll use a bit of ultramarine blue now. I can actually hear a plane buzzing around up there. I don't know if you can hear it. Bit of ultramarine, so it's more of a red blue as it gets higher. Less white again, obviously. Lovely stuff. Blend those in for each other. A few more blues. Magenta and blues. More magenta. Mix, 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 mix. Bit more white to lighten that value a little bit. I want it to be darker, not too dark. There we go. Nice stuff. How much fun is this? Massive plein air painting. Absolutely love doing this stuff. Get up to the edges. As you saw this morning, I fueled myself up big time, getting ready for the big hike, ready for the big paint out. And once it's all finished, then there's more. I've got to get back down the hill. So by the time you start to finish, it's a full day's work, I tell you what. And there's a fly in the works just there. Alright, I'll just stand back for a minute and analyse those values. Alright, the landscape's really lit up all of a sudden. I'll get some of those higher key colours now that that's happened. Yellow ochre, some of that sky blue, the yellow ochre. Yellow ochre with that sky blue. Yellow ochre. Lighten up some of these areas. You can see I'm putting the light over the dark. And it really goes well when you do that. It's easier putting light over dark rather than dark over light with oil paint. I'm going to move that blue out of the way for a minute because, as I was saying, I've got almost no room on the palette. A piece of paper towel. Just going to change tack a bit here and grab some of that orange, yellow ochre, white. What colour we got? White. Maybe go the alizarin crimson. I'm trying to get some of those earth colours lit up in the distance. White. Just have a look. It's a bit more red than that. More white. More white to lighten the valley. Keep putting bits in here and there. White, maybe just add a bit more magenta to send it back as I go further back. Subtle variances as it all goes back. There we go. I want to pick up some of the light that's on the hills, and it's keyed right off now with magentas and blues. change tack and get some of these cloud colours in. White, burnt sienna. We'll burn sienna with that. White, maybe a twang of cat orange in there to really get it to pop. Burnt sienna, twang of cat orange. That's nice. Alright, so I just got a bit of a brush. I'm just going to do a bit of softening. Just a little bit of softening here and there. I can use the knife again later or whatever, but at the moment I just want to do a bit of blending. It's a little bit quicker with the knife, with the brush. But it's quicker to put the paint on, plenty of paint on with the knife obviously. Just get this blended up nicely and softened, because it's all about hard and soft, lost and found, and the brush is very good for softening. Pull that through lightly, pull it through. Some of this distance. A bit more white in that. Some highlights where the sun is shining. Beautiful stuff. The red earth against the saltbush, so you get that greeny, grey-green saltbush, which is kind of a cool value of course. And then you get lovely warm value. It's got some white magentas, blues and white. I just want to paint a little bit of that creep line. It's kind of a grey colour running through. A bit of stuff here. Gonna get some pure bits of white, stick them in here and there, drawing a few of the detailed tree trunks. Just go for a big highlight here, pull that through. Nice. Alright, now with a clean brush, because I've got a bit of brush in the sky, I thought I might just do a little bit of brush through here as well. Just soften a few things, not too much. Pull through. It's just about feel, you don't want to do too much. I'll maybe introduce some of these marks into the foreground too. So you've got a blend of brush and knife throughout the painting. knife on edge. There's a fine ray just chuffing its way through the subject. Just drawing that in. Alright, so we're getting there. I'm just going to get the little knife out. You know I'm not a fan of the little knife. I prefer the massive knives, but at the same time, every now and then you've got to do a little bit of work as well, not just a little bit of refinement here and there. That really makes the painting pop. So I've got some cad yellows and whites with the finest of lines, little dots and lines to give the illusion of stuff happening. Makes you feel like there's more detail in the painting than there actually is. More of that. Out here. Little one there. Right, I'm just going to clean up a couple of blues here in the distance. Maybe a bit more white to lighten that value. Alright, well you could definitely leave it as it is. I've got the big impression. I've captured that beautiful near to far, so we've got a lovely foreground shadow lead in to lit up where the creek is with little fine high key marks and refinements and the most intensity there to really pull your eye in, little tree trunks and whatever else. Lovely blue shadows to complement these high key oranges. The colour of the salt bush, and then you've got the recession of those shadows just going further and further and getting lighter and lighter in value and cooler in colour, so they're becoming more of a blue instead of an ultramarine blue and whatever else, going further and further back. Lovely clouds on the horizon here, peachy sort of colours. As they go up they go more intense whites and whatever, but down lower they're keyed down and they're more magentas and oranges, and then they get more yellows and whites as they get higher. Cooler blue shadows in the distance, more magentas and browns up here as they go up. So it gives you that feeling of going right in, and right on the horizon I've got the palest of blues to send you right off into the distance. So on the whole it really does give the feeling of the concept I was after, which is great expanse of land, near to far, light and shadow, one of those moody sort of days. Pretty happy with what's going on. The light keeps changing, it's coming in really overcast now as you can see. Why don't we just get the camera off, we'll come buzzing in and have a look at the work. Alright. Hopefully it all doesn't come down as I undo it, because there's a bit of a wind blowing, I can tell you that much. There's definitely a wind blowing. Righty. Let's shut this down before the wind takes it. go. That's that. Right. Alrighty. Just wrap this one up. We're pretty much ready to go back to camp now. 45 minutes at least. Getting back there, high concentration levels to make sure you don't scuff the painting. Get all the gear anyway. Let's get this one going. Lift her up. It's not exactly light either. Oh, it's such a beautiful view up here. Can't get over it. Got that one, now this one. Just about there. Oh, my thighs are burning. Hang on, here we go. Oh, there, done. Alrighty, grab the gear and away we go. Whew, bit of fun, I tell you what. It's all part of it though, it's all part of plein air painting. Capturing the moment, being in the moment, enjoying and experiencing the whole thing. The pain and suffering and the joy. It's all exciting stuff. It's like a maze of rocks everywhere here. And you've just got to balance through them. But it's all good fun. By the time you get back to camp, you feel like you've really succeeded. That's if you do get to camp with your painting in one piece. Slide the wet painting into the box, shut the door, and man, what a feeling of accomplishment. Now I've also got to duck and weave because there's sticks and whatever else, as you can see. I've got to go around things because the painting hangs down a bit because it's a large painting. It hangs down and it can scratch on sticks, and I want to keep it absolutely how it was when I finish painting it. I don't want any optional extras. Anyway, there we go. It's blowing a gale up on the ridge here. I tell you what, trying to navigate with a big sail on your back is not easy. It's a great view though, have a look at that. Heck windy. Alright, well, I've just come down over the ridge because of wind. Before I was up on that ridge, and that's when all the wind was blowing and it was out of control. So I've come down on the lee of the wind now, and it's way easier to walk and concentrate on what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll slowly make my way down to the car now, and a lot of the way I'll be out of the wind, which is good. But yeah, it's a very strong wind, and like I said, when I set up the painting, I had to find a bank like this to get up next to so I could actually paint the picture, because there's way more wind than it appears. Like when I was painting, it didn't seem like there was too much wind around, but I'm telling you, there was actually a lot of wind in the whole area. It's just blowing a gale. Beautiful stuff though, eh? Fantastic stuff. It's just endless amounts of rocks, and it's way steeper than it looks on camera. You're constantly watching where you put your feet. Just constantly watching for those loose rocks that roll your ankles as you're coming down. It's all to do with all to do with high levels of concentration. So you've got to keep that in reserve. You can't put it all on the painting. You've got to leave some of your energy and concentration for getting back down the hill. That's alright, that's what I'm doing. There's a gust of wind again. Alright, well, I can spot the vehicle. I can spot my vehicle. Let's have a look so you can see it. It's miles away. There she is down there. I'm looking at it now. Just put a little highlight so you can see it. So, we're getting there. We're about halfway down now. Don't know if you can see that big drop off in front of us, but we've got to navigate that stuff too. There's all around there's drop offs. You've got to come back up the same way you went down, otherwise you can get lost. Otherwise you can get lost in drop offs like that if you start coming down a different way. Always come down back the same way you went up. That's what I find is the safest thing to do. If you think I'll take a shortcut and go a different way, quite often you'll come to a rocky ledge like that where it's just sheer drop. And so, no. Just navigate your way up and concentrate on what you're doing on the way up, and then on the way down, don't take any shortcuts. Go the same way. Back in another wind tunnel. Keep blowing. When you got this sail on the back, it really pushes you around, I tell you what. I've got one or two of these wind tunnels that I can't avoid. It's like I was saying, there's a drop off just there. Oh, there's a drop off just back there, so I've got to kind of go along the ridge here, but it's funneling heaps of wind. And the wind's flicking me around. If you see things being flick around, that's because the wind's grabbed the sail and pushed me around. Woohoo! How much fun is this? Painting at its best. Oh dearie me. How much fun. There we go. I tell you, I'm not mucking around, this is truth. I'm serious, I'm getting blown everywhere. Hopefully get behind this bridge in a minute. Slow it all down. It's starting to calm off a bit. Just got to put that down. Part of the easel is oops. Part of the easel just got pulled apart a little behind me. One of the legs started to pop open. Just stuck it back. Hang on. This thing's sliding off my shoulder. Wait. Oh. Just have to put it back on. There we go. Whew. Right. Back into it. Look at this for a view, eh? Absolutely magnificent. Whew. That last wind tunnel messed my knee up a bit. My foot stayed the same way like so, but the wind grabbed the easel and twisted me around like this with my leg still pointing that way. I can feel she's a little twisted up. Hopefully it's not too bad though. It's all good fun. I'm sure I'll recover. Well, we're back at the thicket in amongst all the she oaks, which means I'm almost back to the car. Fantastic, and not a moment too soon, I tell you what. Cannot wait for my cup of tea. Cannot wait. Whew, what a day. I can't stop concentrating until I'm there. Can't give in yet, just keep on going. Don't think about it, just keep on doing what I'm doing. Almost there. Where are you going to sit? Whew. What a workout. Oh no, there's flies all over it. Whoopsie. got quite a lot of flies in the sky for some reason. Might pick a few out. Anyway, looks pretty good. I think I'll get it in the box also before it blows over. Those little flies. One up here. Alright, here we go, got them. There's probably about 20 flies or something on there. I guess they were on my back and the wind was blowing them onto there. It was disgusting. Right, pretty happy with what's going on. Let's put it in the box. Right, in she goes. That box shut up, we're good as gold. Right, mission complete. Up the hill, done, back in the box. Fantastic. See if there's any fire left. If she's burnt out, get that fire going again. Absolutely cannot wait for this first cuppa after that big marathon. Whew. Funny old weather, it's been wild. It is winter here, but quite often in the outback you get really clear days. This is a really funny sort of one, but I feel like it's good because what's happened is I was loving that cloud pattern. For that distance in the middle of the day, the clouds in the sky, the light and shadow on the ground coming near to far, it was actually a very good composition. Better than if it was just a purely blue day, probably. Check out those storm clouds. We might actually get a little bit of rain out of this, I'm not sure. Some of those hills out there, those clouds are looking pretty serious. Very dark. Well, we'll see how it goes. Bit of fun. How's this billy going? How's the brew? Here's to a successful day. Cheers. Oh my lordy lord. That is sensational. Lovely. So warm too. Perfect. Actually those hills that I was telling you about are starting to go a light grey. They've actually got this rain between me and them now. There's a sheet of water, I can see it. Yeah, swag's totally waterproof, all good. Alright, well, it has started to rain. The swag's all good, no worries. And I'll be able to take cover myself. The old veranda here. The wind's blowing us in a bit, but at the same time, in here, gas struts. Perfect. So as soon as you pull up camp with this plein air trailer, you just open the back door, the gas struts act as an instant veranda. So it's perfect for things like this. Sit here. It's just a bit of a shower I reckon, so shouldn't be too bad. Wow. All sorts of adventures on this trip. I've just got a bit of water boiling on the fire. The fire's going strong enough, it'll be fine. But just going to cook up a few oats. So just going to soak them in a bit of boiling water, and then a bit of cinnamon and a banana, and boom. Not so good. That hill now is completely greyed over. Look at that. We got the rain all right. Got the rain. You little ripper. There's a certain smell you get on the dry earth too. I can smell that. It's beautiful. It's dry earth, and the first few drops of rain hit it just gives off this aroma. Fantastic. Must be on the dry grasses and the dry shrubs and whatever. Alright, just let that sit for about 10 minutes, throw a bit of cinnamon in, and bang! Bit of an evening, well not evening, bit of an afternoon meal. Still going to have dinner, but I just want to get a bit of tucker into me after that painting. Absolutely beautiful. Alrighty, let's give this a go, eh? Lovely. Very much like banana cake. Good stuff. Beautiful golden light starting to spear. Look at the colour of those trees. They're glowing with that really dark storm cloud just behind it. Fantastic. It's just beautiful what's going on. Love the atmospheric effects. Absolutely love it. There's some beautiful light and shadow too. Look at that. Just come back up the hill after my porridge. Just wanted to check out some of the glowing colours. As the sun gets lower, it seems to be spearing under the clouds now. Let's have a quick look. Lovely stuff. Let's keep going, there could be some more views up higher. Alright, we've got a beautiful ledge here, and there's just so many atmospheric effects going on. It's lovely. We're all in shadow, but look at that stuff. Light and shadow. There's also some good gear over here, spearing through. If that distant hill, the older range lights up, I tell you what, it will go off, because the sun's getting lower and lower all the time, so it's going to start spearing under the clouds with more intensity. But you can see over there, beautiful light, but that main mountain range, the older range, that's what I painted a couple of months back. I did a big video of it, big painting. It's down at ground level. Well, this time we're up elevated looking at it. Oh, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Just all the way around, going off. Flinders Ranges, what can you do, eh? There we go, the last little bit of light just faintly hitting the hill. It is freezing up here this morning, absolutely cold as you can imagine. Just getting all the cool tones in before the sun rises. There's plenty of frosty, misty bits and all sorts of stuff. Getting all that in. Just waiting on the sun to rise now, which is going to happen over here somewhere. And it's going to cast beautiful, warm, cool colour. Well, we've got the cool colours and values in and all the shadows in. Now we're after putting the warm highlights as it licks those beautiful ranges. There's the belt of Venus starting to kick in. You can see I've misted that in. All right, well here we are, freezing cold morning, absolutely freezing. The GoPro stopped working, it's so cold. I don't know, the battery's gone funny. Got the GoPro there, but it seems to have hit the whatever, so I'm using the other camera. Anyway, the belt of Venus is lit up. We're all ready for the sun to come over from the east and strike the top of those mountain ranges. And everything should be good then. So you can see that these mountain ranges up here that I'm talking about, they will get lit up as soon as the sun rises with warm colours. So I've got all the cool values in, the mist and the frost, it's all in there. And then we're going to get hopefully some really warm magentas and oranges licking the top of those ranges, and that should be great. All right, you can see I've got a different outfit on because it's absolutely freezing. It is around freezing, there's frost and all sorts of stuff. Hands are as cold as, but we're just waiting now for the sun to rise because I've got all that work done. Sorry I couldn't film it, it's the GoPro. I should have brought more batteries up, but somehow I left with a full battery, got to the top, turned it on, and went for about 3 seconds and turned itself off. It said the battery's dead. I think it's the cold weather. It may be that the battery's gotten old, but big mistake not bringing more than one battery. Anyway, at least we're getting the painting done. All right. Right, well there you go. That'll be enough. I've stuck the highlights on. Let's just get it all in line so you can see it. Where are we? That's better. Okay, I've stuck the highlights on. I wish I had the GoPro so you guys could have watched, but as I said, flat battery. So as you saw just a second ago, it was all in cool shadow. Now we've got the warm light just licking from over behind us, licking across the ranges and giving that beautiful soft feeling. Anyway, really happy with what's going on. We'll have a close-up and then we'll get back down to camp. All right. Whew, well, that was a bit of fun. It was freezing up there. Got the fire, got the billy on. What an adventure. Pretty happy with the painting I did. I feel like I picked up all those subtle variances on that frosty, misty morning. As you saw, I put all the cool colours in first and all the mist and all the low-key shadow colours. And then as the sun came up over the eastern horizon, just licked the top of the mountain ranges. Just put those peachy magentas and apricots, just licking across the high points of the hills, and then that's it. Don't keep chasing it. Like, obviously the sun's coming up quick, and as it comes up more and more the little peaks light up, and then you can get carried away and just keep copying what's going on and just chasing the moment. The original impression was, what I wanted to do is just get the light catching that first rays of light, just casting onto the highest points and only getting the highest peaks. And once I put that in, that's it. Stop. That's the hardest part, knowing when to stop. But yeah, did that, and then it was all good. Came back down. It's actually colder down here than up there because the cold air's settling in the valley here. But on the whole, good morning.